doing stuff. I'm washing dishes. Well, I was washing dishes, cooking, doing different things at one time. Stop. It's my kitty cats. But I wanted to touch base a little bit on the situation with Joseline Hernandez and Lemmy from Zeus Network. So I was listening to what Jocelyn was saying, and I also been looking at the different commentary people been having in the comments about the situation. And a lot of people are like, well, look at how she treated the girls on her show, on the Cabaret show. Now, me personally, I don't watch Zeus, but I see a lot of clips on social media, and that's how I have some knowledge of the different people that be on the Zeus network, the different content and types of shows. Me having a psych degree as one of my degrees, I choose consciously not to watch Zeus, even though I have my nonsense that I do watch, but I choose consciously not to watch things like baddies because, the brain doesn't leave any information, and I'm not going. And I'm into boxing, but I don't watch things like baddies personally or cabaret, Jocelyn's cabaret. But my point is that I've seen a lot of people in comments saying, "Well, that's kind of, she gonna be just as guilty as that man because she exploited women too, and da 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 da." Which they bring up very valid points and facts, right? I will say this, and oh shit, I done spilled my thing. I done spilled my wine. I had a glass of wine and I done spilled it on this couch. Woo! Sorry, y'all. Because this my kitty cat is walking by and climbing up. Anyway, let me focus. But what I wanted to say was that they bring up valid points, right? Because Jocelyn, from the that I have seen over the years, she has been poorly treating those women on that show and different things like this. I will say this, and this is not an excuse, but I look at it this way for Jocelyn in particular. Jocelyn is a girl who made her fame and lived her whole life being exploited. You see what I'm saying? She comes from that kind of background. I remember there was a behind the scenes episode on Love and Hip Hop one year where she was talking to her biological mother and her stepfather, and she was talking about how she couldn't come back home until she came home with $300 from working the streets. 300 or more. And I remember her parents saying, "Oh, what? That's it? Like you only came back with like $300. It wasn't da 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 da." And they were justifying basically putting this child on the streets. So this is what Jocelyn knows. She knows to use her body. She knows to use her sexuality. And she knows to exploit herself. And so, of course, it probably didn't it probably wasn't a big deal in her mind to exploit other women. Because this is what this girl comes from. This is what she knows. Now, this is not a defense of Jocelyn. I'm just looking at it from a more broader perspective, I should say. Right? Hey, whoever's there saying, hey, what's up? I just wanted to talk a little bit about the Jocelyn situation because I'm just like, I think she's telling the truth with this man and the exploitation and the sex trafficking he's doing with these ladies. I think Jocelyn is getting to a point in her life where she's starting to wake up, where she's starting to realize, hey, the stuff that I knew and that I grew up with, I wouldn't want to put my daughter through that. And little kids shouldn't go through that. And people shouldn't be exploiting other people like this. I think that she may have justified it in her head as entertainment when she was doing it. And maybe, and see, that's the thing that's tricky about America, because Jocelyn, she's Puerto Rican, but she didn't grow up in this part of America. You see what I'm saying? Not per se. And America, you will be tricked into believing that, okay, it's okay if there's a few casualties at war, but at the end of the day, I'm going to be good, or this is what I need to do to make it. And at the end of the day, no matter how much you think you're like the elite, you're not one of them. You're not one of them. They want to exploit you the way they exploit everybody else when they get good and ready. So you can step on whoever, you can do whatever, trying to climb this ladder and be opportunistic, but at the end of the day, the tables will turn and it'll flip on you, and then you're in the same position as them. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, it's not fair because I did this. And even Joseline, she's like, I did all of this for the network and I did all of that. Yeah, but to an extent, mama, you sold your soul. And because you sold your soul for trying to get out of the conditions that you come from, which I understand because she doesn't come from the best conditions. She thought that she would be good, she would be protected, her family would be good and not be sacrificed. But the moment that you go against the hand that feeds you when you decide to sell your soul in any capacity is the moment you will reap the repercussions from it. And they will not spare you, baby. They will not spare you. And they're not trying to spare Joseline. I actually like Joseline. Do I agree with everything she do? No. I think that she authentically, in a lot of ways, is trying to be herself. I love the fact that she has been getting clean, that she's off the cocaine. I love the fact that she's starting to do these interviews and things for her own network and talk about her life and how she's had to learn certain things and how she didn't always make the best decisions. I love the transparency because authenticity will always win. And we're in times where being authentic is being seen as not cool. You know what I mean? Everything nowadays is fake. Everything nowadays, and that's what's being encouraged as the cool, as the fad, as what's popular. You can't just look how you look. You gotta add this and that kind of enhancement. And there's nothing wrong with enhancing yourself a bit, but when it's taken to the extreme, that's when it becomes a problem. And we're in a society that encourages nowadays fakeness. Authenticity has become something rare. And even though she's not perfect, even though the girl Krishan ain't perfect, and they got a lot of issues, they don't come from having a good blueprint. They are trying to find their way. They're trying to find their way through coming from a negative background the best way that they can find fit. And what I appreciate about girls like her, what I appreciate about girls like Krishan, even though they have a lot of challenges and a lot of issues and things I don't necessarily agree with at all, they are trying to be authentic. They are being authentic to who they are and what they know, and they are trying to grow. They are trying to do better. And so I actually think Joseline is telling the truth when she's talking about how this man was doing. And I get what people saying because they got valid points. Like, okay, it was cool until he started messing with you. But think about this. People do this all the time with jobs. We do this all the time with jobs. There's a lot of jobs and different things where the people get exploited in different ways because America is the type of place that will make you compromise yourself and your morals and your spirituality. There's a lot of times, unfortunately, where that happens, and they'll make it seem and find ways to trick you, or you find ways to trick yourself into thinking that it's okay because I'm not affected. My people ain't affected. But what people have to realize is that your integrity comes at a cost. We're thinking that, oh, I'm good, I won't be affected. As long as my family's good, even when you take it to fast food, something as simple as working in a fast food place, you might see some real unhealthy, nasty practices working in fast food. But you know what? You're going to keep working there because it's giving you the check. This is what Joseline to me did, unfortunately. You're going to keep, well, like many of us do, you're going to keep working there despite what's happening because you keep getting that check. And you need to feed yourself and you need to feed your family. And you know what to expect. And so, okay, I'm going to keep serving the people this fucked up food, but I ain't going to eat it. You see what I'm saying? So I just wanted to give my opinion on that. Let me know in the comment section. Let me know y'all feedback, what y'all thinking of this. And thank you for everybody who gave me a like, who tuned in and chimed in. Much love to everyone who said hi. Much love to all of y'all. I just wanted to share that. You know, a lot of times when it's a celebrity, the non-celebrity people like myself and everyone else, we don't give them much grace. We don't look at them as they're making some of the same decisions that we make on a daily basis. good and bad. And I feel like Joseline made these poor decisions because this is what she knew. And now that she's knowing better, and now that it's being redirected to her, she's like, wait a minute. I thought they were the casualties of war. I wasn't supposed to be one because I was playing the game with y'all. But that's not the way it works. But let me know what y'all think. Much love. This is Asma the Alchemist. Someone said hi 1,000 times. Hello to you. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you for tuning in. I know I haven't been live in a minute, but much love to you all. Let me know in y'all comment section what y'all think. Peace.